Polkadot keeps trending lower, kind of falling gradually down, and I think it's something we need to talk about right now. What I've got in front of me is the daily chart for DOT. And of course, we can zoom out and find out the fantastic run that DOT has been on since October, when all of crypto has gone up. And looks like DOT was roughly around 3.5, and we almost hit 10 back in December. So that was almost a 3 times increase. And then, of course, we have seen this drop off, which we've seen across all of crypto in January. I have this level right here marked. It is about 7.3 to 7.6. I hope y'all can see this rectangular area. And it's proven to be a critical area lately, as we've seen price go up to it, fall down, and then eventually break through it. Then it started acting as support here. This is what I call the Bitcoin flush, the day that false news came out that was saying the SEC was going to deny the Bitcoin ETFs, and Bitcoin fell from 45,000 to 41 roughly in about 2 hours. Well, this was the damage done on Polkadot, and there was damage done across all crypto that day, and we gave up this critical area right here. We've since taken it back, but what you can see is it's kind of acting like a magnet, this level. We don't stray too far from it. If we get too low, buyers come in. If we get too high, sellers come in. And right now, the last few days, we have been right in the middle of this level. It's a level of indecision. It's a level of contentment, even where both the bulls and the bears are fine with price being right there. But I have noticed not only on Polkadot, but other coins as well, we're starting to peak below these levels, these critical levels that have been holding lately. Now, we're in no danger of anything big. Look, here was the low back on January 9th, and we're nowhere close to that. We're just kind of doing the gradual slide down. I do want to go and look at this real quick, see if we've got any long-term implications for this level. Yeah, this level has been critical over the last few years. Of course, it acted kind of like a magnet here for a few weeks where we were ranging in and out of it, in and out of it. But we got to a point here in November of 2022 where we reached a high of it and it was rejected, kind of reached close to it, went above it, and it was rejected. So far, we've gone up to it, was rejected, through it, was rejected, and that, or held nicely actually, and now we're coming back to it. And do you see when I zoom out how it looks like we're almost doing this? It's not a perfect head and shoulders where this is the shoulders, this is the head, and this would not ideally, but could be another shoulder. Now this shoulder is much higher, so it's kind of a nasty one. But look, you could almost see price going on back through this area. You can see that daily bar right there. Let me do it this way. See how you've got this up, down, maybe down? That's what I mean by we're creeping down. And it's not just DOT that is doing it. Let me draw this line right here. It's kind of, you can see we're just making lower lows and lower highs. Here's a high, here's a low, a lower low, or excuse me, a lower high, maybe a lower low. Now, I do want to say something here. I'm just talking about the next few days / weeks where it looks to me like we're going to enter this area and maybe even fall down to the 6.5 level. But this is short term. Okay, this is short term. I'm not talking long term. Long term 2024, I think we're going to have a fantastic year in crypto. I'm bullish crypto. I hold crypto. I'm looking for good gains in 2024. We'll just have to see if that's going to happen. But you can't deny that after having a 3 times run up, a 300% increase in about 2.5 months, that the market's just going to tend to give something back. And that's what we're experiencing right now in January. Part of that is being pushed and controlled really by Bitcoin. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. Here's the rising channel we've been in for Bitcoin since about December, okay, the 1st of December, where we've had grinding higher with higher highs and higher lows. Of course, we broke out of the top of this, but was firmly rejected. This was around ETF approval time. The ETF was approved on Wednesday, and then Thursday was where we saw the big high up to 49,000 and have since been rejected. I've been impressed with how Bitcoin has held this channel so far, but I do think we're eventually going to tag 40, and it's going to look, that's not what I wanted. It's going to look either we're just going to break out of this and tag 40 directly, or we could push here and then tag 40, something like that. I do think we're going to end up hitting 40 some point in January or here before long anyway. And I do think we'll hit 40 before we ever go up and start tagging new highs in Bitcoin. It just seems like the market is taking a break here, and there's no impetus, there's no momentum, there's no positive reason for Bitcoin to go and push and make a higher high. Now, there doesn't always have to be a reason. I mean, sometimes Bitcoin just does Bitcoin stuff. So there doesn't always have to be a noticeable reason that we as retail traders will notice. But I just don't see any reason for Bitcoin to go up and make higher highs at this point. I think it's still got some more resting, some more retracement to do, some more giving back to do. And we're kind of seeing that right now in Bitcoin, where the price is just stagnant and relaxing, if you will. And that's what's causing this creeping down in DOT. Okay. We're seeing this creeping down. It's not a big fall. I mean, there's nothing wrong. It's not like we're seeing big red bars giving back big gains. It's just there's no momentum going up, so we're slowly sliding down, and it looks like we're going to continue that. The only thing that would change that is we've got to get above this 7.6, probably really this 8 again, break out of this trend line that's down. We'll have to break out of that and go up. But I'm seeing the same trend line on ADA. Same thing. It's creeping down into its levels below VET. Look, trend line. Okay, you see how it's creeping down? It's creeping below that 0.03 down in its level below. Solana is even kind of creeping back into its downtrend. See, Avalanche is doing the same. There's several coins that are doing the same. Even ICP is kind of creeping down. So we're just going to have to practice patience right now. If you've been in the market since October, you have seen how well we have done. And so it's nothing unnatural for us to be just resting, relaxing, and finding, gradually giving up some of these gains. There's nothing wrong. There's no problem here. Everything is constructive price action. We're not seeing big red bars down into the lows. Everything is naturally happening as it should. We're just going to have to practice some patience. But it does look like we're going to enter this area right here, and we'll have to find out how the markets react. And let's not, look. We were in this area back in January 2 weeks ago. We were in this area back in December a month ago. Before then, it had been back in April of 23 since we were back in this area. So you know what? If we can fall below a range and be below that range for 8 months, that range is not going to scare us right now. It's just natural market movements, and we've just got to be patient as the price creeps down. See as if we can determine if it can find a base, and I don't know. We might just range here for a little while. We'll have to see. We need some new gas in our engines really for us to start making higher highs, and we'll have to look to Bitcoin for that. And I don't think it has any right now. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, that's my update on Polkadot. There is nothing wrong. Everything is constructive price action. We've just got to practice some patience. All right, I'll keep you updated.